Just got my coffee started. Got that done, and I'm boiling some more water for breakfast. I'm having Mountain House spicy Southwest breakfast hash. What a great spot for breakfast. Oh, excuse me. I'm just eating breakfast. This breakfast hash is pretty good. Actually, I would probably like it more if you like take a half a pack of that and then just in my camera on my hang time hook. If you like did like a half, there it is, half a pack of this, and then mix like the eggs with it or whatever, the Mountain House eggs. But this is good. So I get to look at the stream right there. Let me see if I can. I'll just take it off. I'll show you my view. It's awesome. What a great view. What a great campsite right here. All right. So I slept good. I sleep better in my Chameleon. But I still like this one. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call Dutch and ask if they can make me this half-wit hammock, but make the hammock in the Chameleon size. That way it would be, because the length and the width of the Chameleon is perfect for me. And so if I had the half-wit, because I like this bug net, I like how it only comes over halfway. So if I can get a combination of the two, that'd be great. I read, I woke up real early and I was just laying here listening to the water, and then I started reading the maps in the guidebook. I don't know if I'm at mile marker 34, because it said about the campsite at like 34.16, because I might be just before it, because it says about how you're crossing over like the east and west end of a stream, and I think this is, I might be right before it. I don't even care, because this is great. There's not too many campsites that get better than this. So yeah, this is awesome. So, you know, the funny thing, when you're hiking on the AT and you're trying to get all these miles in, you know, you wake up and you want to be on the trail like early. And yesterday I didn't get on the trail till about 8 o'clock. And that's probably going to be the case today. I mean, it's so nice here. And the other thing is, this is the first time in a long time where on day 3 I didn't wake up like aggravated. You know, day 3 you wake up and you just like, this sucks. You know, you're just having a miserable day. And I'm not feeling that. Not at all. Yeah, this trail is awesome. So, in like a mile or two after I get started off is the road falls. Now, it's named after this lady named Ruth Road. And I actually spoke with her on the phone. And there was a documentary that some guy did about this trail, and she was in it because he met her when he was hiking it. And her her number was on the website, and I called her up and I asked a couple questions, and she's like the nicest lady ever. She's been a part of this trail since like I think like the 60s, and then she became an official part of the like the pretty much like the whole trail, like overseer or whatever, like in the 80s or something like that. And so the falls, they named them after her. And so yeah, I'm excited to see that. I think that's supposed to be a nice one. And probably like midday I'll be closing in towards World's End State Park. Now I'm at mile basically 34. So I think my next campsites, it's either going to be mile marker 50, and I think that's camping around the falls, or if I don't do 50, I have to go the whole way to 54, because right in the middle, I think at mile 52, there's it's called Porky's Den, and it's like supposed to be like a huge porcupine's den. I don't want to be camping anywhere freaking close to no porcupine den. So, and see, before mile marker 50, there's a lot of private land. So I gotta close in on that to hit the 50-mile mark today, which is doable. Obviously, this isn't like, it's not killer trail like the whole way. So, yesterday I did the 20, and I was thinking about it after I got here, and I was like, man, 20 miles. And I was like, well, maybe that road walk kind of helped, but you know what? I don't think it did, because my feet were hurting. That was like at least a 3-mile road walk. And by the time I got off the road and back onto the trail, I was like, it took me a half hour just to adjust. It was like, man. So I don't know how much the road walk helped me. And plus I was pulling out my map, like my guidebook, and there was no blazes and this and that and the other. But so anyway, now I'm gonna finish up breakfast here and start packing up. So it's gonna be a nice day today. It's so awesome. I could lay here all day. So you got those two there. The little drop offs. Got a couple in there, but then as you look on upstream, you can see that one up there. See if I can zoom in. And then there's one to the left. One of the secrets to, you can see my stake right there. So when you have a hammock and you want to get into cool spots and you can't get your stake in the ground, I got this the stakes from Gossamer Gear, and it's the carbon. I don't know what they are. They're not titanium, or maybe they are, but they have holes in it. So on that one there, I was able to loop it around that rock there and then stick the line through the hole. That's why I keep my line attached to the stake, and then I hook to the tarp, to my tarp hardware. And that's why I use the fleas. The Dutch has the tarp worms, but the fleas are the best, especially when you want to hook, do stuff like that. Now on this, I don't know if I showed you a view of the other side here. So that's trail. Right over there, that's the fire pit. And there's like some benches put in over there. So basically I have 2 of those carbon stakes, or titanium with the holes in it. And then I have two of the MSR carbon core. They're like regular peg stakes. But like on this one back here, this end of the tarp, I wanted this higher so I could get in, because I actually get in on this side. But see, that line comes down right to there, and I have that wrapped around a root and through the hole. So it made it easier to get my stake, or my tarp lines all set up. So it's pretty much how I do it. There's a little bit of a look downstream. My shirt's wet. The price you pay for camping by a stream is, the shirt's not going to dry out, but oh well. So yeah, that hang time hook's pretty cool. It's even just a good spot to have your cell phone. And then there's like a hole through there, and like a hook, so you can probably hang some stuff on there. Whatever. Actually, I wish that they would make a hang time hook where, because you can remove this, but I wish they made a setup where, like, you have that trekking pole camera mount, where you could have a clamp for on your trekking pole, like an actual clamp instead of that like slide on thing. And then you could take your camera mount and you could put it to this, but then you could take it off and then adapt it to your trekking pole. But these companies don't think like me. They're not multi-purpose. So, but yeah, I don't want to go. I like it here. I could live here. Got water. So I should get up soon though. Real quick though, before I get up and start packing up. So I was just thinking about this because of the water here, and I was saying I could live here. So the shuttle driver, Pat, he was telling me that like in the spring, he shuttled these 3 guys. And they had backpacks, they had all this gear, tents, the backpacks were full. And they had fishing rods. No food. They didn't bring any food at all. He said they were gonna hike this trail, and they were gonna catch catch fish to for food. They didn't bring nothing, no food. So it turns out that because there's not very much cell coverage here, and he dropped them off at the beginning, and it's a while before you even get to some streams. They finally got in touch with him. They were able to get text messages out on day 3. They got to close to some parking area, and he had to come and get them and take them back to their vehicle because they didn't catch any fish. They were starving. They didn't eat for 3 days because they didn't bring any food. What a bunch of idiots. There's a reason why Mountain House and Packet Gourmet exists. So he said he even told the guys, like really? He's like, because see, they didn't tell him that on the front side. They told him that once he picked them up. They just called and said, can you come get us? We're having a problem, you know. So he went out and got them, and they said, yeah, like, we haven't eaten in 3 days, and we were going to catch our food. And he said, well, Jesus, he's like, if I'd have known all that, he's like, I could have went to the grocery store and dropped you off a bag of groceries, and you could have kept on hiking. But I think at that point they were like in shock because, you know, I mean, that's just crazy. They come out here and catch your fish. On all the streams I crossed over and stuff like that, it looked like maybe a couple little spots where you could drop a fly in there and maybe catch like a small native, you know, brook trout. But you know, you're not catching pan-sized fish here. You know, this is all small, you know, native mountain streams. Anything in there is going to be, you know, like a 5-inch little brook trout, which would be fun to catch, but yeah, that ain't going to feed you for a week. So I'm going to get packed up. Starting my day out. This area is called Splash Dam. It's just past mile 34. My campsite was about point 0.1 or less from mile 34. And actually, the site that I was looking at in the book, there was a couple, like 3 guys down there. But all along that little stretch, there was a whole bunch of campsites, but you know, I just kind of pulled into the first one, and actually I thought that one was the best. That 34.16, that was more set up for a lot of tents. There's a couple nice flat pads. So yeah, this is a cool area. So it's about 8:45. I just took my time packing up, and I decided I had an extra pair of socks, and I decided to throw on my new pair, my fresh pair, and I noticed I had a small little blister on my pinky toe, so I had to pull out the needle and thread and doctor that up. So it just took me a little longer getting out of there. I didn't want to leave that campsite, but hell, I could have hung my hammock right along here too and just kind of hung over the edge. Yeah, this area around mile 34 is awesome. Look at that. Come through in the middle of the day and sit over there for a lunch break. Man. Hell, I'd have packed up and left early. Came over there and had breakfast. Sit right on that rock. This trail's awesome. I could through hike this trail every year and be happy. This is great. Look at that. Look at this little drop off over here. That's awesome. First thing in the morning. Oh man. Ah, that was awesome. That one was called Lee's Falls. So when you hit mile 34, or when you hit one, when you're past mile 33, and then you get up to that campsite. I think mine was like 33.9 range, and that's your first campsite. That was a good one. And then if you keep going, you come to, there's a mile 34 marker on the tree, and then that next quarter of a mile follows that creek there, and follows the creek, and then there's a whole slew of campsites in there, and then you just keep walking it out, and then you run into that Lee's Falls, and that was freaking awesome. Here's Road Falls. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. It was freaking awesome. Oh, man. So there's the ladder I came down. That is pretty steep. Ladder's pretty sturdy. I had to throw my trekking poles down the hill though. Here, let me scoot around here, down on these rocks. Looks like a campsite over there, but I'm pretty sure it said not to camp here. That's awesome. Look at that. This is the best one so far. It's just raging. Man, that is awesome. That is so cool. The problem with this trail is Every spot you get to, you want to stay there. Man, I could sit there all day. Road Falls is awesome. I'm hoping maybe there's something that'll top that. Top that. Yeah, look at that. Got the ladder there. Yeah, this is awesome. There's a lot of tricky footwork on this trail too. You really got to watch your step. Coming up to another view here. This is the Alpine view. Look at this. It's the same one I was looking at before. It's just higher up. Now we're up on top. It's a cool little campsite here. Getting close to mile 38. This is the World's End Trail. That's a 3.5 mile trail, I guess, that goes down to the park. But we're going this way on the regular trail. So just stop for a little break here. Doing some peanut butter and jelly on a wrap. Got these packets from Bojangles. Actually, I'm kind of mad though, because I like to put the pre-cooked bacon in there too. And I forgot to get some, but I'll just eat it like this. This is the trail. Coming across this here. Right here's the mineral spring. Coming down to a view. That's an X trail. Oh man, look at that. It's 4 o'clock and I'm at the visitor center at World's End. I got here I probably got here about 3:45. and 3:30. Went into the visitor center. Right now I'm propping my legs up, draining my legs. I got 2 patches for the Loyalsock Trail, and then they had patches for World's End State Park. And then also the lady working there took my baggie of trash, and she also gave me a Loyalsock Trail blaze that they give out for free to the thru hikers. So it's pretty cool. It's in my pack now, but I'll show it to you later. So just another couple minutes here, and then I'll be back on trail, trying to get to mile marker 50.45. It was rough getting here. It was a pretty rough day. I should have got out of camp a little bit earlier. It was, but well, the scenery was so good. It was so tough to like stay motivated to like, hike the trail and hike the miles. And that's really what slowed me down. But it's a nice day. It's basically 4 o'clock, and I have like under 5 miles. So I'm at like mile 4, right around 46. So yeah, like 4.5 miles. I'm basically just doing the next climb and going a little bit, and then I should be at a campsite. So, oh man, I couldn't film it, but that climb coming up out of World's End, holy crap. There's another one of them boulder climbs like on day 1. Oh, man, that was rough. Now I understand. They mapped this trail out to be hiked from west to east. That's the way they number it. That's the way everything kind of works. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't want to hike this trail in reverse. Absolutely not. Because every climb, like going eastbound, every climb is tough. Some of them are tougher than others, but they're all pretty tough. But they're all so steep that I wouldn't want to go down them. See, the descents going the way I'm going, they're not as bad. I mean, there was some bouldering on the one today, but yeah, they're doing the right thing by directing everybody from west to east. Man, that was rough. I wouldn't have wanted to go down that climb. Day hikers go up and down it. I don't want to go down that one, that's for sure. I'm almost to mile marker 50. The last, like once you get out of the state park and you finish the climb, it's just really nice trail. And I've just been in that zone like the last 3 miles. Yeah, I just want to get there. Saw a nice little campsite back there, but it wasn't around water. So, just gonna head up here and see what it looks like. So, it's just a little after 6, I think. I think it's about 6:10. So, yeah, get my hammock strung up, and as much as I like to cook at the end of the day, I don't know if I feel like doing that tonight. That whatever that spicy Southwest breakfast hash that I had this morning, I mean, that just kind of stuck to me all day. I ate throughout the day, but I mean, at this point right now, I mean, once I get to camp, I got another pack of chicken salad and a wrap and some cheese. So I'm probably probably going to do that and get my chores done. And so, well, I'm going to keep on trucking. Made it 50 miles on the LT. This is mile 50.45, Alpine Falls. There's my hammock. Check this out. And that is my view tonight, right on top of the Alpine Falls. Oh yeah, this is awesome. If I would have got here at 2 o'clock, I would have stayed. Look at that. Now that, my friends, is the epic hang. If you can top that, I want to see it. Cool little music right from the hammock. Well, I'm in my hammock right now, and it's about 7:45. And man, what a great campsite. I wish I would have been here maybe a little bit earlier, maybe like an hour earlier. But, you know, that was how the day played out. Got off to a late start, and, you know, now the funny thing is now I know how I would want to hike the trail. and pretty much basically in the same manner that I did, but just leveraging my time better. I was, especially like today, there was a lot going on with so many different like little waterfalls and like water features and stuff that my head was spinning. I was all over the place. I had to slow down and take pictures and take a little bit of video, and you know, and it's like as the day went on, it was like, oh, it's like lunchtime. I did like, you know, maybe 5 miles or something like that, and I was like, oh man, you know, I was planning on doing a 16 today, and you know, now that because I'll probably hike this whole trail again. I mean, this trail is great, but now that I know, you know, a lot of the good spots and sites, and you know, the things to see, and then the other things to you know, just kind of go by and check it out, not pay too much attention, you know, and now I know the areas where, you know, you just got to kind of plow through and just treat it like trail, you know, just get moving, you know, instead of, you know, I get sidetracked on some views, and then like some views or some waterfalls, and then I'd keep on hiking, and I'd still be off in La La Land for like 20 minutes, like thinking, man, that was awesome. And then it's like, come to realize, like, well, I'm back on trail. I better kind of get back to my pace. So, you know, but it's been fun. I was glad I got to the state park office around, it was around 3:20, 3:30 range. And see, they closed at 4. So I was glad I got in there in time. Got some water from the fountain in there, and got those 2 patches that I'll show you, and I got that little that hiker, the Loyalsock Trail blaze that they give away as a gift. So that was real nice that they do that. And so yeah, it's been a cool trip. So I got around 8 miles tomorrow. I'm at 50. Basically 50 and a half. So, well, 9.2. So, yeah, it's like I got like 8.6 or something tomorrow. So, and tomorrow I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try to get out of at least one day here, get out of camp at at a decent time. Um, I'm not going all out for breakfast tomorrow either. I'm doing I got a Pop-Tart and um, some peanut butter, that kind of stuff, and then just some snacks for the day. So I managed my food pretty good. I did bring an extra, like, it was a backpacker's pantry dinner. I emptied all mine out and put them into like a Ziploc. That backpacker's pantry, because I write the notes on the Ziploc, and then I was looking at that last night, and I was like, man, let that cook for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. I was like, it's late, So I switched over to the beef stew, because that's like 10 minutes. And then that was part of the other reason why I didn't feel like cooking tonight. But I needed more water. I needed to get hydrated. So when I got here, I just had a pouch of the chicken salad. I didn't even make a wrap. Chicken salad. I had a piece of cheese left over, like at the Land O'Lakes in the package. I usually bring a bag of those along. And after that, I just had probably about a third of my jar of peanut butter. And then I drank a lot of water, and I had like a Crystal Light lemonade mixed with grape Propel, and that was good. And then just drank a ton more water. So I was just more concerned with getting hydrated than anything else. Yeah, it's been an awesome trip. I'm so glad I ended up here at this site. Right up above me, the way I'm facing, there's like a shelf up there, and it's a big area. I mean, you could probably do a tent city up there. You could probably fit at least 10 tents along there, if not more. You could probably smack 20 in up there. It's a nice flat ground. It's almost like it's like a service road that comes down, but there's a fire pit up there. But there wasn't anybody around, so there was a couple really good branches up there, so that's where I hung my food bag. So, but yeah, so a little under 9 miles tomorrow, and then after that I'll get back to the truck, and if I have time, I want to look at the book. I mean, if I have time, if I get on trail and get through it, and pretty quickly, I might even on the way back drive, because it would only be like maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of the way. Drop over into the World's End Park office, and I might buy like a t-shirt or something like that. And if not, I'll stop up another time. It's always going to be there. And, I go up to my camper, and from my camper, it's like a 40-minute drive. So, and just a side note, World's End State Park is very nice. They have a lot of like picnic areas with grills, and you can kind of car camp, I think, around there. And you probably have to pay for like the sites, but shoot, I would. It's a nice area. Now the concession stand was not open, and that was actually kind of a funny story. Because I was telling the lady in the office, I was like, man, like is that concession stand open? I was like, I want like a soda, or something, and she said, nah. She's like, it's probably closed. She said it's kind of like a nuisance, the concession stand. So I guess the building is owned by some guy. It's like a private owner. It's not owned by the state park. So this guy has like always owned this building for whatever reason. or his family or something, but the dude lives in like Venezuela, but he runs a concession stand, but he finds bidders like for vendors. So she said it's annoying because he'll find the lowest bidder, and then basically they're bidding for, probably like X amount of dollars for the season to be able to sell their food there. And then they still have to pay him like a commission of the sales. But then he has the power to shut him down. Like he'll say, if you're not making $30 an hour, then just shut it down. So the lady at the office told me that these vendors go in there to sell their stuff, and and if it's not a super busy summer, or I mean, we're in Lycoming County here. I mean, this is not Hershey Park. It's not like there's you know hundreds of people coming up daily on the in the summer. I mean, I'm hiking past these parking lots on like on the weekend, and yeah, it's like maybe one car there. I saw a couple hikers here and there. I mean, it wasn't nothing like the AT. I mean, there's just not, um, you know. So anyway, as far as the concession stand, she said it's like a nuisance, and I said, well, yeah, it's a nuisance because I want a soda, and it's not open. So oh well. But other than that, I mean, it's a really cool area. Um, so yeah, it's been an awesome trip so far. Coming down to the tail end of it. So, and right now I hiked 50 and a half miles to get to the coolest campsite. Yeah, this is awesome here. So, but yeah, I'm going to get situated here and start checking out the maps for tomorrow.